Hello and welcome to East London Textile Arts. We're inviting you to make something for an exhibition celebrating the work of Madge Gill, one of the country's most creative and visionary self-taught artists. Let me find a picture of her for you. Here she is. We are working with the London Borough of Newham and curator Sophie Dutton to help develop the legacy that Madge deserves. Through the teaching of Madge Gill, we would love you to explore your creative drive and your supernatural talent. My name is Rachel Matthews, and this is my friend and colleague Celia Ward, who is going to tell us how this project came about.
This project has been initiated by Sophie Dutton, a leading researcher on the works of Madge Gill and curator of a highly popular solo exhibition of her work shown at the William Morris Gallery in 2019. Sophie has secured funding from Newham Heritage Month to develop the legacy of Madge Gill, who was resident in Newham for a large part of her life. The job of East London Textile Arts is to show a creative response to Madge Gill's unique practice. The project is open to all. ELTA will be holding socially distanced workshops on Wednesday mornings starting 21st of April for 4 weeks and weekly Zoom studios on Thursdays. We invite you to contribute to an exhibition held in the garden of Little Ilford Baptist Church in Newham on the 22nd of May. Madge used to display her work on washing lines, and we will be doing the same. This garden event will also be a making day. Our works will be displayed on the internet from May 2021. If you are not a member of ELTA and would like to join a workshop or Zoom studio, please email us to receive your invitation. For the next few minutes, Rachel will briefly explain Madge Gill's life story by reading excerpts from Sophie Dutton's book. After we hear about Madge's life, Rachel will be suggesting ways in which you can approach the work, either through painting, drawing, or stitching.
Thank you, Celia. Explaining how Madge Gill found inspiration and hope through her troubled life is not entirely possible in this short video, but I hope that by joining the project, you'll be able to work with us to gain a deeper understanding of how Madge found her positive powers through craft. Madge Gill was born an illegitimate child in 1882 in Walthamstow, London. She was known as Maud Eves, and her life was fraught with tragic circumstances. She was separated from her family at a very early age of 9. She was placed in the care of Dr. Barnardo's, and at the age of 12, she was sent to a relocation home in Canada, where she was given work as domestic help. It was rare for relocated children to find their way home, but she saved up and as a young adult found her way back across the Atlantic to England. Recounting her life story in a letter to a friend years later, she recalled, "What memories I've left behind." It was on her return home to London that Maud rechristened herself Madge, making a definitive break with this early stage. Madge happily married her cousin Tom Gill, and for a while was one of the first nurses at the newly built Whipps Cross Hospital. But there was more tragedy to come. Madge went on to face the loss of 3 children and the deterioration of her physical and mental health. Yet these experiences appear to be a driving force that led her to discover such creative energy. Possibly as a result of the trauma, Madge became obsessed with spiritualism, a system of belief or religious practice based on supposed communication with the spirits of the dead. She often attributed her inspiration for thousands of drawings and embroideries to her ethereal guide, Mayinarest. The channeling of this spirit gave Madge Gill a new outlook and energy, which shaped her life's work. This unseen force guided her hand and perhaps helped her find the strength and inspiration to take control over her life's experiences. From within herself, she found some inner rest. Sometimes Madge worked on an enormous scale, taking up all the space in her living room. I think some of us might be familiar with this kind of scene. Or she worked on a small scale, making thousands of decorated 6x4 postcards, like these. As I continue to show you a selection of Madge's works, I'll invite you to think about how you would respond to them in your own creative practice. We don't mind which medium you use. There are no rules as to how you reflect on Madge's work. You could work with painting, pen and ink, pencil, or an embroidery, or textile of any style. Some of you might like to work in a figurative way. Madge often draws this same woman. You could copy her, bringing this face to life again, or perhaps there's a face that you like to draw. Madge is very keen on this strange language that she picked up from ancient Babylon. Maybe you have a series of symbols you'd like to work with. You could work in an abstract way, mixing beautiful colours and thinking about abstract shapes. Madge taught herself at home with limited supplies. Her stitching is like drawing, but it's also like knitting. It's rhythmic and compulsive. Use your natural creativity, either teaching yourself new skills or using the techniques that you already know. So I explained earlier that Madge had a troubled life. So what's amazing about her works is that they resonate with grief, and yet they offer an honest and open view of resilience and hope. Creating vast works seemed to offer her a form of escape, drawing a world far away from the traumas of her past. In a letter to her friend Louise Morgan, Gill wrote, "My pictures take my mind off my worries." It's a testament to her profound inner strength in the face of hardship. Perhaps this project is a chance for us to give thanks for the way that textiles allows us to escape. Madge's process is often described as automatic. She worked very fast, sometimes filling 3 yards of canvas in 2 days. The speed of the stitches would throw her into a trance, where she would tap into another world automatically and know which stitch would follow or which symbol or pattern comes next. Let's be automatic. What would you come up with if you were to stitch a large area really fast? Can you tap into the driving forces of your creative energies? Do you need some music to help you there? Is there a stitch or line that takes you to a place of inner rest? Is there a religious motif or a number sequence, a simple pattern or a word which you've carried with you for a while? Or do you have a language of lost symbols? The artist and collector Sir Peter Blake explains Madge Gill's imagery. He says, you find themes very early on and your interests, and they reoccur throughout your life.
Anyone can join this project. Some of us have started already. Here is an example of Lorna's work. And here is Monica's response. Rachel has embellished the jacket she is wearing, which she had for ages, but never enjoyed wearing until now. To join a socially distanced workshop or a Zoom studio, please email us through East London Textile Art's website. Sophie Dutton's book comes with many high-quality images and fascinating essays and interviews about Madge Gill's life. Images of Madge Gill's work will be on display at the workshops, and a Google search can help you explore more. The deadline for all entries for the exhibition is actually the morning of the exhibition by 10 o'clock. sharp, because they will then be put up by, I hope, 11 o'clock. They will be ready for everyone to have a making day, an exhibition, and fun for all. The website will continue to display your work and stories on a long-term basis. We look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.